Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to be very clear with this practice. Because how much you understand about the practice, that much you can put the effort and bring the result. It's not that just the effort going to bring the result. So behind the effort, the intention developed by the wisdom or the understanding. So that's why whatever you do, that all come out of the deeper mental interference. So that interference come with the reason. So if you are capable to expand that, the reasoning part, what will happen that your practice going to become more and more and more successful. So you can apply that theory to anything. Another thing is the way we use the time, energy, and the way we put our effort completely going to become different when we clearly understand how this meditation can bring the awareness. So as example, when you work with these material things, if you don't know the very purpose of the material things, and if you don't know how you can use it, and if you don't know what are the benefits that you can get out of it, and sometimes you may struggle with it and you're not going to get anything. So there was time like Tripitaka, so the book, or the Visuddhimagga, the book, people used to keep for sitting, because they didn't know what is that. It is a huge book, and the Tripitaka is a huge volumes of books, and some people used to sit on it without knowing what it is. So like that, if you don't know what this is, and sometimes maybe you sit for many, many hours, and then you reflect on your own thoughts, and you go with your own plans, and you go with your own mental projections and the fantasies, and then you say, oh, I practice meditation. But you have to be very clear what is meant by meditation. So nowadays, there are many kind of meditation techniques. You no need to go into that all. If you go into that, practice that all meditation techniques that the find from YouTube, you're going to be crazy. So you have to be very careful about it, because people have different reasons. And they interpret according to the way they want that. But for us here, we're going to go to very authentic, organic, the way of Buddha's teaching. So when it comes to that, the meditation, the word came out of the word called bhavana. So the very meaning of the bhavana, bhaveti kusala dhamme aseveti vaddeti bhavana. That is the Pali explanation of this word. So the very meaning of the bhavana, cultivation of your mind. And the cultivation of your mind means there is something in you. So it is not that you bringing something from outside. There is something in you. So you have to develop it. So that development is your practice. So the thing is, this very key point is this. So when you develop something, it needs to change. So then, what you need to change inside, what you need to develop inside, that is what we're going to talk about today. And as you know, this the idea of self is very, very huge. There are many arguments, there are many theories people build up out of this self. So according to the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha never told that this is a kind of like a no self. It's a completely, it's nothing. Buddha never told that, because if there's completely nothing, something, we no need to do this anything. You know, there is no practitioner, there is no, you can gain result, there is no one then can attain to the enlightenment, then you can't explain or you can't name somebody as Buddha. If there is completely nothing. So then what the Buddha told? There is no permanent thing. So as example, we can't tell there is no cup. So look at this, you know, my hand hold by the cup and I can see it, you can see it, you know. So if I, you know, that I can break this down, and if I hit to somebody, they know that person going to get damaged. So in conventionally, how we can say there's nothing. No, there's something. So we have to accept it. But the thing is, this is not going to be permanent. It's not going to be unchangeable. So what the very first thing that you have to understand, there is something in you. It is not permanent. It's changeable. Another thing is the most important part, even though the physically you understand is or not, the most of time, it affects for our point of view. Because the thing is that it's nothing to do with these physical things. When your point of view become permanent, it doesn't matter, maybe you believe, oh, there is no self, or there is no something in that the concrete. There's nothing unchangeable. But you hold it to mental view. Oh, this is my idea. This is who I am. This is our culture. This should be exactly like that. So in that way, the most of time that you have to be very careful. It doesn't matter you that the regarding the self, or that you believe regarding the self or not. Are you holding to mental views, or are you holding to your point of views? Be careful about that. So before we going to go to that big talks, the self, if you can work with your point of view, not to hold it to that, that's enough for in this very conventional level. I think you may gain a lot of result out of that. So another thing is that the one of the major important thing you have to understand that most of time people, and even before the Buddha, then the people try to do this lot of good things and to have a better life. Of course, when you do good things, you will gain a better life. But here, when you develop the wisdom, it is a totally different way of understanding. So here we're trying to develop the awareness or the mindfulness. Doing good, not doing bad things, that is a very old method. But being mindful is the oldest method. That is the very ancient method. But most of time, that is what we neglect. So mindfulness is the method that bring the total purification to ourselves and bring the total change to ourselves. So when you bring the development to yourself, the one of the major important part should happen in you, you have to change. Being the same person, you can't bring this mental development. You can't bring the just the transformation with your ideas even. It doesn't work. So the physically we all know we all change, but our mental views. So then when it comes to cultivation, remember when something grows, it should change from the moment by moment. It can't hold it to the same method and cultivate. So then when you cultivate your mind, you have to grow your mental view, and then that means you have to change it. So then you have to question yourself. You practice and you do many other things, but still, is that growth or the change happening in you? If not, then you have to look into that. Because if there is, your point of view doesn't change, that practice is not related to this kind of meditation. So here we practice tranquility meditation, and from there we go to Vipassana meditation. So the tranquility meditation is the foundation to have an undisturbed mind. So on the top of that undisturbed mind, we come to the point to observe things with very critical, analytical mind, without holding even to your own point of view. So then you get out of the subject point of view, and then you start to observe things according to the object point of view. And that is where completely you can understand things according to causality. Because this subject point of view, that the way we think, has a history. And that history pushes us to find a more better way. So then remember yourself, out of this whole practice, the most important part we have to change our own point of view. So then where we end? We end with the no view point. So rather than the no self, come to the point, be an experiencer, but without a view. So in that way, you become more flexible. You adapt to situations. And you're not going to hold it to situation. You're not going to clinging to situations. In that way, little by little, you start to grow. That means deeper inside you, you have total freedom. So when something grows, remember, if it doesn't have the total freedom, the growth not going to happen. It become crooked, like a bonsai trees. So you know how the trees bonsai, they tied it with the wires, and then it can't grow. But they put the water, that all the soil and everything there, it can't grow. Then it become like a midget, it's kind of like a crooked. So deeply what happened when you hold it to things inside you with the desires, or like or dislike or neutral feelings, what happened? You become a midget. So idea about the self or your point of view, that is what does. It not allow you to grow. So keep the total freedom inside you. So that means you become like a huge banyan tree, and it go as far as it can grow. It's kind of like a redwood tree. It grow as far as it grow. So yourself, allow yourself to experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Experience as deeper as you can without holding to point of view. So when you have the self, that the self come with the certain ideas, that idea condition your point of view. So that is where you become very limited. So keep that total freedom inside you. You can do it. You know, in the outside world, we have to follow all the rules, regulations, and methods, patterns for the conventional life, for the betterment for the others and for us. But to have a mental freedom, get out of the point of view is your choice. So always you can practice that. Always you can practice. Even when you go to sleep, you can practice it with, you go to sleep without having a point of view. I want to have a nice, good sleep. I want to have a sweet dreams. You just go to sleep. That's it. Maybe if you didn't get sleep, it's okay. Why you say, you know, it was a bad night? So like that for anything. And deeply you can practice, work with that. And then you will see it's all mind. But without having some practice, and we can't understand that how much we hold it to idea. So the practicing meditation will take us to deeper into that. And when it comes to our life, so we always go with the feelings. Our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, clinging to this world and look for the happiness and satisfaction. And out of this all, what we look for the good life. So even out of the merits that you have done, all the good things you have done will bring the good life to you. So what is the good life mean? You will see beautiful things, and you may see whatever you want, and you hear whatever the beautiful things, or maybe you hear whatever you want. Or with the nose, you smell all the good things, and or maybe you gain whatever the smell you want. And then you say, oh, it's a beautiful life, happy life. With the tongue, all the food and that things, whatever you like to eat, if it is there, you say, this life is so good. And then we say, he's blessed. She's blessed. And with the sensation, bodily sensation, with the partners, male for female, female for males, you know, whoever you want to associate, if that people around you, close to you, say, oh, this life is good. That is what the merits can do. There's nothing else. Merits can't bring the enlightenment. Merits can bring the good life. And so it is very necessary. You need that. But the thing is this, that when you have the good life, when you see something beautiful, if you like it, what will happen? It triggers the greed inside you. With your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that whatever the things you want, when you meet that, what will happen? It triggers the desire. It triggers the greed. And if you don't get it, so that means if you get the unpleasant things, the opposite side, then we call it's a kind of like the bad karma. So like you want to see something, but you can't see, you see completely opposite side. So then you see it's a bad karma with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And then what will happen? When you experience that, you get mad, disappointed, angry. So it will trigger the anger inside you. And the neutral things, all the neutral things around us. And it is not about our like or dislike. It's not going to affect for our deeper feeling. It's there. It triggers your ignorance. So that is how the world keep going. So then what will happen when you hold it to the idea of self, your point of views, you build up a kind of like a net, and you go in that net, you go in that circle again and again, again and again, and you keep looking that again and again, again and again, but you don't see when you meet this outside world, what's happening to you. So that is what called life. That is what called living. Trigger the greed, trigger the hatred, trigger the ignorance out of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, perception. So then how we can get out of it? Because there's no way. Even it doesn't matter how good life you have, you can't get out of it. Why? Because that all the good life trigger the desire or the greed, cravingness. And if you resist that, if you stay away from it, then what will happen? It trigger the anger. And if something is not related to like or dislike, it triggers the ignorance. So then, as an ordinary person in day-to-day life, how you can stop this process? So that is what the Buddha taught, how to stop that. And during 2,600 years, it was a kind of like a breaking news, brand new news for that. It was the breaking news. So what is that? So that is what called mindfulness. So mindfulness means when you experience something, rather than caught up with the desire or like or dislike, you become very closer to yourself, not something somewhere. You become closer to yourself and see how you experience it. That's it. And how you experience. You not go away from it, you become more closer to you. And see, it doesn't matter like or dislike or neutral feelings, you see how you experience it. So another way, you become more aware about you, not the outside things. So that is where you disconnect from your self-centered idea, because the self-centered idea not allow you to observe how you experience things. The self-centered idea always take you out of the experience and take you to another place. So now you come to the point that whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, just allow it to happen. It doesn't matter like or dislike or neutral. You're not going to categorize it, or you're not going to resist. So in that way, it's not going to trigger the greed, hatred, or the delusion. But you come to the point to see how you experience it, what is happening. So in that very moment, what you can say, you can recognize that whatever you experience, it doesn't matter. It's nothing wrong that you recognize it as a pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. But you go more deeper, you go beyond that and recognize that what you experience, if it is a pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, that all feelings change. That is the key point. That is what you go beyond the conventional, ordinary life experience. Because most of us, your self-centered idea, your point of view, don't allow you to go beyond that. It stops with the like, dislike, and neutral feelings. And then you don't know beyond that. So people will do the good things and you receive the good, and again and again and again, you go with the good, 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 good. And the journey will happen. You forget even you have a journey. Why? Because everything good. And the bad things happen. And again and again, again, bad things happen. You struggle with the bad things. You forget you go through a journey. Sometimes people, when even struggle, fight, argue with things, they forget they argue. So that's mean what? Your point of view can make you blind. When you come to the argument, anger, hatred, fight, you can't see who is in front of you. Maybe your mother, your father, your husband, wife, children, your partner, friends, your neighbor. You can't recognize. See, that because your own point of view can blind you. So this is what happened all in day-to-day life with the like, dislike, neutral. It happened through the whole this samsara. We was blind. So you have a great opportunity now to awake and open your eyes, get out of that blindness. You can't do it just changing these outside things, no. You can't do it by even changing this physical eye, no, the inside. Get out of your point of view. You are, another thing is, you are not capable to hold it to a point of view. Why? Because all things, all this, the things in your mind, most of time came out of your own thoughts, projection, preconditioned mind. If you have very clear understanding out of, if you 100% recognize something, and or if you know how things come to be as they are exactly, then it's okay, have a point of view, nothing wrong. But without knowingly how things happened, what it is, if you hold it to a point of view because of just you heard, because of just you think it should be like that, it's not fair. That is what happened to most of us. We think, I think, oh, it should be like that. And then because of that, I hold it to that point of view. That's not fair. Maybe about you, if I hold it to a kind of like my own point of view regarding you without knowingly what happened to you or what you want to say, do you think it is fair? It is not fair. It's very simple. So this is what happened to us. So that's why sometimes it's even that, if you have a point of view, have it with a very clear understanding, knowingly how it came to be as it is. Then it's good. But if you don't have that clarity, don't hold it to your own point of view. Be humble, be flexible, and keep your open mind. Be ready to accept. So that way you can work with yourself, deeper with your habits, deeper you build. I am like this, so kind of like the idea. So that's why this being good and resisting the world and allowing things to be there, this not allow us to get into that level. So the mindfulness, being mindful when you experience something, will bring the ability not to categorize with things with the good or bad or the neutral, and you are capable to see the change happening moment by moment by moment. So once you recognize that your moment of experience, it doesn't matter good or bad, or in a very conventional life, we all going to categorize it when it happened. But now you are more capable, rather than hold it to the good, or rather than stop with the good or bad or neutral, you are more capable to jump a little bit and see, and you will see it doesn't matter whatever it is impermanent. That's the key point. That is where it's completely going to go towards the idea of self, and your egocentric mind or the idea of self. This is going to be the antidote. See the change. See the change within what you experience. Not somewhere. Within what you experience. See the change. And then you will see that when that change happens, deeper your samsaric, that the habitual patterns have a struggle to settle down. Somehow, keep it. And then you will see that with the change, that how this unsatisfactory nature is there. Because it has a current to keep going. And once you see that, you recognize this anything, this experience, that whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, it doesn't matter, it is like, dislike or neutral, that all change moment by moment. It never going to settle down anywhere. It never going to satisfy anything. And that is where you come to understand completely. There's no kind of like a permanent, concrete, unchangeable self, physically or mentally. So once you have that, it's become irreversible wisdom to you. So that wisdom always in the world. It's always there. Million years ago, the wisdom the same. Today, the wisdom same. And during Buddha's time, whoever understood that wisdom the same, and today wisdom the same. You know that when we look at our human history, the people themselves had the wisdom to go through many situations in when with the world, with all these up and downs. It's not because of the science or the technology or the machines. It's because they had the wisdom. So you have the same. But the thing is, today we more caught up and depend on these outside things. And we take that outside things as no, there is something inbuilt in you. As a human being, you have something. So that is, you have to tap into that. So mindfulness will bring that ability, because now you look into yourself. That is what we don't do. Why? Because you know yourself. It's a very basic wisdom. When you see, you understand. You know that. That's why sometimes when you don't want to understand something, what you say, don't show it to me. Don't show it to me. Don't tell it to me. Why? Because if you see, you understand it. That's a human wisdom. No one can escape from that. No one can say, oh, if I see, I can't understand. No, it's not going to happen. It's very natural. So then what you need to do? So start to look into you. Then you will understand you. That's a very simple wisdom. So once you see, you recognize what is happening there. That is what you need to know. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supatveva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless.